Hey, welcome back. I am prefacing this video with a trigger warning. We're going to be talking about what's been going on in the Smash community in terms of sexual assault and things like that, as well as what's been going on with the Black Lives Matter movement, and we do go into pretty graphic detail at a certain point about an incident that really scarred us. So this is your chance to just kind of quietly dip out. I'm sorry. I've been gone for so long. I'll explain in the podcast, but if you don't want to stop because it might trigger you, I understand. I'll have a video out soon. Cheers.
Hiya, the name's Ace. I'm always looking for a challenge to test my strength. Normally, I'm a pretty happy guy, but when my friends get hurt, I break loose. Nobody hurts my friends without expecting a fiery knuckle sandwich from yours truly. If you're looking forward to a date with me, I'll give you one to remember. Yeah. If we run into any goons on our lovely night out, I'll be the one to protect you after all. You are a girl. Personally, I prefer girls with green hair, but pink should do just fine. Did you hear that? Looks like it's lunchtime. I'm so hungry I could eat a whole horse. I'm just warning you though, when you make me dinner, there'll be a lot of dishes for you to clean. Well, I gotta get back to training. Smell you later. See you in the kitchen.
You added
See
a
you in
part.
the kitchen.
See, yeah, I did. I added a
Ah,
part
yeah,
in that.
you're really getting into character there.
Yeah, I am. You know, I was channeling my inner Ace, you know? How's it going, everybody? It's the podcast. You know that show
Hey,
that we do,
guys.
like, once every 3 months? Haha.
Oh, once every blue moon.
Yeah, you know. We try it. I feel like I have a good excuse to have not been doing the podcast recently. I feel like
Yeah,
I get a free pass.
I don't.
pass.
Yeah, I get a free get out of jail soon card. Yeah, so it's been a cool minute since we recorded, and oh my fucking god. We're having a bit of a yikes right now,
Aneurysm.
chat. Yeah, no, I don't even know where to begin. Oh my god, like, last
There's
time
so
we
much
talked,
to talk about,
yeah.
and there's not enough to talk about.
Yeah, it's like last time we talked was like a little over a month ago, and we were like, ooh, Corona, I hope it's over soon.
Ooh, Corona! I hope it's over soon.
Yeah, no, and then fucking Ronald Brumpf, I don't want to say his name, I don't want to get demonetized without ever getting monetized.
That's okay. It's his birthday coming up, so you're allowed to.
Oh yeah, cunt head.
Yeah, you-
Oh,
Okay.
did it pass already?
Hmm?
Did it pass already?
Did it pass? I saw a
was
bunch of
looking
ads
at
for
it.
it. Yeah, there was always an
Yeah.
ad like, wish Donald Trump a
Sign
happy
his card.
birthday.
Sign
Yeah, sign his
massive card.
No,
Donald
dude,
Trump's
you don't
massive card.
And donate money. Let's surprise the millionaire with $1 million. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like a small amount of money, anyways.
Yeah, it's a small
Yeah.
loan for him. But yeah, it's
Get
been a
rid
really
of that
cool
money.
minute. It's been so long since we have recorded, and so much has gone on. First of all, I feel like we should all say this out of the gate. Black lives fucking matter.
Yes,
Yes.
they do.
They do.
God damn. That is... Shouts out, honestly. So many wonderful black creators are finally getting a voice. You know, they're finally getting a chance to use their voices, and that makes me really happy.
I like to think of what Will Smith said, and it's not that racism is getting worse that this needs to happen, it's just that it's being recorded.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's actually a pretty good point. It's not necessarily that things are the worst they could be, it's just... Yeah.
It's just bad.
Yeah, it's just...
You know, it's always been like that too, which, you know, the world is changing, or especially, it is the world, it's for all the blacks, and things are changing, but they are changing for the better.
Yeah, I agree. I think everything's changing. All cops are bastards, and defund the police, but that's a separate rant for a separate episode of the podcast.
Push to,
So, yeah, I'm real sad right now, folks. I'm not gonna lie. Things have been, kind of rough for me.
yeah, you've been through a lot lately.
And so has Josh, and I haven't really talked to Luke about his shit recently, but...
Alright, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, good for you, buddy. Proud of you.
Thanks.
It really sucks, too, because in the last episode, I said that I wanted to start making it an annual thing in a podcast episode that I would tell a story about my grandfather.
Yeah.
And I will come out the gate with this right now. My grandfather passed away about a month ago. It was a very sudden death. Nobody was ready
Really?
for it. Yeah.
Oh.
So this is really weird because I had been doing a countdown on my personal Instagram. No, I'm not sharing it, you weirdos. But I had been doing a countdown to the release date of Xenoblade, and I was really excited about it. But now that countdown is a
computer
lot
just
more
crashed.
morbid. No, you're here.
Oh, what the fuck, dude? Like you cut out.
Oh.
Everything just went quiet. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. But yeah, I had been counting down to the release of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and now that countdown is a lot more morbid because that was also the countdown to the day my grandfather died.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, so I was gone for pretty much almost all of June. Like, I have been back and forth between taking care of stuff for the funeral. My grandfather had 2 dogs that he left behind, and we had to find out what we were going to do with them. So I actually just got back from a trip that got cut short for me. I mentioned it before, but my family has a cabin. I mentioned it during the boat story, I think. And originally the plan with the cabin was we were going to wait a year before we made any decisions with it. Because it felt like everybody was too emotional at the time to even talk about the cabin. It's a very emotional place. One of my uncles won't go up there anymore. He hadn't gone up there since before my grandmother passed away, like 7 years ago, because it's a very emotional place for him. So I get it. So I was supposed to go up there and just kind of take care of it for a month or so, and I wasn't supposed to come back until mid-July. And then I was supposed to like take care of like gardening and stuff up there and help kind of make the place look pretty and keep it maintained. But then one of my uncles just decided that he was gonna start trying to sell it, like 2 weeks after my grandfather passed away.
Yeah.
And so we were like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. We realized that like we weren't gonna be able to pay for it, so I understand. It was just like a rough thing. So I went up there, and I was still supposed to be there for a month, and I was like, okay, I have a month, I can figure this out, can do what we need to do. I was just supposed to go up there and hang out with the dogs while my aunt got her house ready so that she could be prepared to take on 2 more dogs. Then my month was transformed into 2 weeks because they were going to put up the house sooner. My aunt was ready for the dogs, and they were like, okay, you don't have to stay up here the whole time, and with the way Rona's looking, like, you might want to get back soon. And I was like, yeah, you're right, I'll probably leave after the 4th. And then it turned into 1 week. At the end of my first week at the cabin, my uncle said, we are putting the place up for sale, and we're going to have people coming in and out starting Wednesday. So, yeah. You can't be here.
So fast.
Yeah, it just like there was so much time that I thought I had, and then it turned out I had a week. And so in order to honor my grandfather, and sorry for making this the Theo is sad show,
Sorry.
I wanted to tell
fine.
a kind of happy story about him, and probably the most emotional goodbye I've had yet. So the thing about my grandfather is he had a very odd obsession with birds. I think my whole family does. In our family, we like to believe that my grandmother comes to visit us in the form of a hummingbird.
Nice.
And now recently with my grandfather, we like to believe he's come to us in the form of an eagle. Because
That's pretty badass.
it is pretty badass. My grandfather, because we had never seen an eagle at the cabin until the weekend we came up after his funeral. And then we saw eagles. So, I think, yeah, I agree with that. But the thing about my grandfather is there was one very specific bird that he was very passionate about finding. And every time he would take us out to go look for it, we would never find it. And that was the blue sandhill crane. And it's a very beautiful bird. And
It's a rare one.
it is a very rare bird. And the day that I was leaving the cabin was actually like really intense. First of all, from an emotional standpoint, I spent the first year of my life at that cabin. I spent a lot of summers at that cabin. There's a lot of emotions there.
Of course.
And it was also like physically intense because it was storming, like really bad. Like the dock got dislodged. The water was really, really choppy. And so I went down towards the dock and I was sitting there, and my grandmother had grown lupins, like a type of flower there. And so I always associated lupins with the cabin. And so I was sitting there surrounded by this field of lupins, staring out at like the crazy ass water. And I will full stop admit, yeah, I was crying because like I was about to leave.
Nothing wrong with crying.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with crying. Everybody gotta cry. And of course, my emotions were being amplified. I was listening to Hosier.
Oh yeah, I don't want
And,
to do that on emotional plan.
Pog. Love Hosier. And as I was sitting there crying, a blue sandhill crane flew in front of me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it flew across, and I couldn't help but just laugh because I had thought about the God knows how many years I had gone on adventures with my grandfather, and he'd be like, look out for the sandhill cranes, and we'd never see any. And finally, the last possible time I was up there, we saw it. And I think much how my grandmother is a hummingbird and my grandfather is an eagle, I think when they're together, they're a blue sandhill crane. And I think they were seeing me off.
Yeah,
That's
that's
beautiful.
definitely. I feel like that should give you a good sense of closure.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a
Yeah.
good send off.
Yeah. So
And I think you shouldn't take it any more than what it is. You know.
Yeah, I think that was definitely just the best way things could have gone for me.
Of course.
So I'm doing better now, though. I'm back home. I'll be home for another month before I skirt off to college. And
You're with the boys.
I'm with the boys. My
Hell
birthday's
yeah.
coming up. As long as I don't have the Rona, the boys
That's
and I are
another
gonna hang
story.
out. It's gonna
Should
be
we do a live
sick.
podcast?
Should we do?
Ooh.
Oh,
That would actually be dope.
that would be
dude.
so
That'd be
sick.
dope.
Because we would only really need to bring over Josh's mic, and even then we could
I
just use
have
my
two.
old mic. Oh, that's true. Because
Yeah.
Well-
you know.
so for my graduation gift, I got a Blue Yeti. That's what I'm using. And so I was saying we could actually just there's a setting so that it picks up on both sides of the mic. Because I'm snapping from behind the mic right now, and it sounds really distant. And I'm not gonna mess with the settings because that'll make the mic all wonky.
Yeah.
But I can set it so that that would sound like it's right here.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was saying that like Luke and I could just use the Blue Yeti, and Josh could either bring a mic or just use my old Snowball, which is still a pretty good mic, all things considered.
Mm.
Yeah, dude, I'm down.
Yeah, I would love to
Yeah.
do that.
And then whatchamacallit, you know, we could social distance too. Even though it's just us, you know, we'll sit like 6 feet apart, and then we'll have like somehow I can't. My words are tongue twisting me.
No, I
My-
ain't
my
social distancing
eyes,
with y'all.
teeth, my mouth, big crunch with my teeth.
Big
um,
crunch. I
alright.
mean, yeah, no, we'll figure it out. But I definitely want to hang out with my boys, play some Brawl, play some P+.
Let's play some Brawl.
Dude,
Play some
unironically,
Brawl.
like, when was the
I
last time we
know,
sat
dude.
down and played Brawl? Like, it's been a cool minute.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Also, just want to say, Captain Zach is back.
Is he really?
That actually makes me pretty happy.
That's good.
He's almost back, but as like he's back for at least for I don't think not 2GG. I think it's for a certain group that they run Dreamland. I forgot who they are.
Okay.
But then either way, Glitch City, like all the other stuff, soon as Corona stuff is over, which won't be for a while, I already know that, but hey, as long as he's back, right? I mean, we need flair, like Zach's personality. That's a sassy kid right there.
Mhm.
You know, we need that right now, because not gonna lie, Smash Ultimate's kind of dying because of the pandemic. But yeah, he'll be allowed to attend tournaments on the regular as soon as tournaments open up, which actually makes me pretty happy.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that's really good.
You know, I do get though that like that bracket, like not bracket fit, he like match fixing because what he did with Ally and all the other stuff. It's all bad, but to be honest, I'm pretty sure he's grown a lot by then. You know, it's been a year already. But I'm just happy Zach's back. I actually really miss
That's
him.
like one of the best pieces of news that we could have gotten as a community. Because
I'm pretty yeah.
yesterday, I don't want to get this wrong, so I'm gonna pull up Twitter.
J-Tails?
No,
Did you hear about J-Tails?
I think so.
There's a lot to talk about.
There is. Hang on, there we go. There's okay.
Luke, do you know who J-Tails is?
Yeah,
No,
talk
I
about
don't.
J-Tails while I pull up this.
Okay, I'll talk about
'cause-
about 4 years ago. This girl came out recently about what happened 4 years ago about J-Tails grooming her. Pretty much, and the thing is, the DMs aren't that like they're not that like sexual or bad, but you could tell that he was still trying to like get with her, you know, and it's still really gross. And it makes me sad because J-Tails uploads a lot of like Smash guides. He's played with Alpharad before, and it's like, like I like how that's how you know if you make it or break it for me.
Yeah.
Have you played with Alpharad yet?
Bro.
No, but like though it's like he's not that big within the community, but he still plays like a prominent like role in like helping people like grow as their own. Like he's definitely well known for his guides. Like I think his most popular one is like a snake guide. And then I feel really bad because like honestly I feel bad because I know he sounds like a good guy, but that's just the worst part. Because like you feel bad, but at the same time you're shooting because what he did is disgusting. But yeah, he just released a video on Min Min, and then all like his comments section is just filled with, so like how about that girl you groomed, and then it's like damn, that just feels bad, man. Yeah. But yeah, that's it on J-Tails. You know, man, another internet personality you looked up to, just they're shitty in real life.
Yeah, this one is also going to be kind of tough for you, Josh, if you didn't hear about it. So, there's a guy, Puppa, I believe is how you say his tag.
Puppet? No.
No. It's Puppeh.
Yeah, Puppet.
Yeah, Puppeh. Puppeh was groomed as a 14-year-old by Cinepie.
Oh, I already knew about that. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
He put out a twit longer this morning talking about it, and it's like,
yeah, I did. I saw. Well, I haven't been on Twitter all week.
it's some like heavy shit.
I know that she was. A lot of people knew about it, but people didn't really say anything, and I think that kind of pisses me off. Because Senpai, people even made jokes about it. Like, didn't like Puppet get pussy from Senpai at the age of 14, and then people are like, I don't know, and people just kind of like laughed about it. But I'm like, no, I think he actually like did something. I think something happened there because they don't sit right with each other, you know. So I haven't read the twit longer. I'll read it in a bit. I haven't been on Twitter. I've been off social media for a while.
Yeah. Which is fair, and I'm not gonna read the twit longer here. First of all, because I want people to go and boost this so that other people can see this, and also because
welcome to the new late Omni.
Also, yeah, I'm not Lane Omni, and there's a lot of talk about manipulation and oral sex and stuff.
There's a lot going on.
It gets pretty
now.
heavy. The main takeaway from that though is Puppeh was 14.
Yeah,
and
that's the kicker.
Yeah, Senpai was like 24 or something like
that.
that.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
I feel hearing that, I feel bad for Puppeh, of course. I feel bad for Wadi too.
Yeah.
Wow, like it makes you think though, dude. It really does. Whatchamacallit, did you guys hear this? I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and it makes me extremely sad. But it's probably not as like big as, it's not Smash community related at all, but still along the lines of like talking about like manipulation and like gaslighting and all this other stuff. Fedmeister and offline TV.
I haven't heard about that.
You haven't heard about that? That's because it was crazy for a bit. Do you guys know what offline TV is?
No.
No. Okay, so they're a streamer house, right? And it's like Lily Pichu, Pokemon,
Pokemon.
or Pokimane, but her
The
name's
entirety
Yvonne.
of the Pokemon company
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
one
no, no,
streamer
Is
house.
there?
yeah, Lily Pichu, Pokimane. She
Actually,
says
I
it's
think I did
pronounced.
hear about you.
She said it's pronounced Pokemon, so I'm trying to get myself to say it say it like that, so like we respect that for her.
Mhm.
But yeah, Lily Peachy, Pokemon Scara, which is like League TFT streamer,
Yeah.
and then Disguised Toast, who's also League TFT streamer. Michael Reeves just moved in because he started dating Lily Pichu. And then I think that's everyone. And then their home manager, her name's Yvonne, right? And then Fedmeister lived in there. Fedmeister was kind of this like chill, and like there's like he was always like messing around. He really laid down the pavement for marble streaming. And what marble streaming is when you kind of put random stuff on a marble, and like you just have like a digital marbles, and then whatever one wins, then he does whatever the marble says, and that'll be like call a girl or do this other stuff. You see, Fed was very well known for like being weird around girls, right?
Uh-oh.
And it was
Yeah.
the thing is, everyone laughed at it because we thought it was a character. It sucks to know that that's how he is in real life.
Yeah.
And then so Yvonne, who people always saw the relationship between Yvonne and Fed as something very like lighthearted and like brother sister like, right?
Mhm.
But Yvonne came out with a twit longer a couple days ago. I'm not gonna go too much into it because if you're interested, then you could read it. But essentially, it goes into like Fed's behavior towards her, and then Fed did something to her and Lily. It wasn't rape, but it was essentially sexual assault, and then a lot of lying, a lot of manipulation, and a lot of minimalizing from all of the women in offline TV house, and a lot of lying from like to him and his friends too, which is just really sad because like as someone who's starting to stream a lot, and then even like I talked to Steven about it too. It sucks because like Fed was really funny.
Yeah.
And it just sucks whenever you see like a nice content creator that of course you don't know in real life, but excuse me, that sucks. Yeah, it just sucks to see someone that you look up to for a little bit. And of course you shouldn't put anyone on a pedestal, but at the same time it sucks.
Yeah, it's been really rough, and I'm very happy that people are coming out about their stories right now. This is a good time, like everybody, it's time to get all our shit together as a country, as a community, as
of course this is very very good time to come out right now.
Yeah, but I feel like there's this like pushback, and it's mainly coming from straight white males. The first bit of pushback is obviously coming from these guys who, think they're tough shit or whatever, and are like, oh, well, men get assaulted too. And it's like, yes, they do, but this is a woman coming out about her story.
This isn't about you right now,
Yeah, trust me, I get it. Men get assaulted. I know.
Yeah.
Pape, plenty of people, and that story too. There are people in the comments of his tweet with the link to the twit longer who just said, "Oh, nice, dude." Like, it's because
of course,
the approach to it is so different. It's sort of like I don't even know really how to describe it. It's like men only want to remind people of that sort of thing when it's not their story. When it's their story, they're congratulating each other for getting assaulted. Which is really, really rough, and part of why it's really hard for guys to come out about these sort of things.
Of course, because like society has like built us up to kind of be these emotionless, like tough boys.
Yeah, and it's it's such a pain. I talked to my cousin. We went out to brunch a couple times, and we talked about a lot of different things, and that was definitely part of it. Was like, for this like kind of culture where it's men are sort of made to be independent while women are told to be their dependents. It's like really rough. Then when that starts being changed for what I believe to be the better, with both becoming dependents on each other as well as having their own autonomy and independence.
Mhm.
It can be really rough because there are people who have grown up with these beliefs who
Yeah.
now need to have that challenge.
You see, we need to start normalizing that. We need to start normalizing that men and boys are crying more.
Yeah.
We need to start normalizing that it's okay for girls to like ask out dudes,
Oh,
same way.
100%.
We need to normalize these kinds of things that are often put in sexist roles. And it's like just the thing is like we're all raised believing that, oh, boys do this, girls do that, and of course it goes both ways.
Yeah.
It's just that, like I said, we're raised to see that. That's why coming out for someone, whether they're like, well, no matter what their sexuality is and everything like that, it's such a big point in their life. It's such a big point in general because they're quote unquote challenging the norms. When I say quote unquote the norms, it's what we were raised believing. It's not the normality because we weren't all raised that way, and everyone doesn't have an open mindset where there's a lot of people with old beliefs still, and it's very disappointing to see, but that's just how it is. And over time it's going to change, and like I said earlier in this podcast, is times are changing and they're changing for the better.
I agree 100%. Things could not be going better, like especially in terms of people coming out. Pride just ended. I'm sorry that I didn't get a podcast out for Pride, but happy Pride.
Happy late Pride.
Happy Pride, everybody.
It was honestly really cool to be able, as the LGBT community, for the most part, there were some little stinkers out there, but as a community to say, we're going to put aside our celebration of Pride, not just because of the Rona, but also because we need to support our Black brothers and sisters.
Exactly. And you know what else we need to start normalizing? Recognizing when you're wrong.
Oh, 100%.
And owning on it and then changing. We need to normalize that because, we're all human. We're all mistakes, and like I said, we're raised to think a certain way. But if you could recognize what's happening, and if you could open up your mind yourself and actually accept people for who they are, then we need to normalize that change, and we can't label someone as a racist asshole for their whole life if they're trying to change. So
it definitely is tough because like we're saying, like growing up, there's a lot of like established norms that you don't really think about until you're a little older. But there's also a point in your life where you aren't told these norms for a little bit, and I'm
kind of figured out for yourself.
I'm gonna put a slight trigger warning right here, folks, so maybe like mute the podcast for a minute or two because I'm gonna say a real bad word. When I was a kid, I didn't know that not everybody liked boys and girls. That wasn't something that like I didn't understand. That like I thought everybody could like anybody, and they can, but like societally it's not viewed that way. And I didn't really realize that was a negative thing that people viewed until I was called a faggot. Like that, the first time that I was referred to as that slur, that was when I realized like that's a negative thing and that's something I shouldn't be open about. Which shouldn't be the case, but it's what happened. And I feel like our generation has sort of been in this like boiling pot, and we're almost like the Mentos added to the Coke,
Yep.
Yeah.
Like we're all so fed up with the way things are going and how we're just being told like, oh, that's just how things are, this is how it's gonna be. We're so fed up with that we have just decided that we're gonna push back. Like everybody's just kind of collectively tired of it.
Yeah.
And that makes me happy that we're able to do that.
Now that I kind of like come to realize it like recently, then like especially with COVID and being class of 2020, the number one thing that I hate hearing from like anyone is, well, what can you do about it? That's how it is.
Yeah.
I hate hearing that. Like I hate hearing that's how it is. What are you gonna do about it? That's how it is. It's not gonna change for I've heard that for like everything, for for the LGBT community. I've heard that for the Black rights movement. And then like it's kind of, I guess it's a little like personal on my end because of like the class of 2020 stuff with like older people, and especially some younger people too, saying what are you gonna do, like what can you do about it? And yeah, honestly though, it's a pandemic. Class of 2020 is a pandemic, and there's a pandemic going around, and there's not much we can do, but we did make the most out of it. And
Yeah.
you can't be bagging on us for not for our virtual graduations or fucking Animal Crossing graduations.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys.
We had an Animal Crossing graduation and we had fun with it. Yeah, it didn't have the same emotional impact as an actual graduation, but what I did learn is I hate being told that this is how it is and it's not going to change, and things are going to change, especially for everything right now.
Yeah, I agree. Like, graduation especially was like, I know a lot of people who are really looking forward to it. I don't like a lot of the people in my class and just people at my school in general. That makes me sound edgy. I'm not trying to say that. I just don't have close relationship with a lot of people there.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's a whole fucking can of worms that we can wait for. But the people that I do like from there, I was happy to see for graduation. I couldn't stay because I was a foreign object. I had just gotten back from my grandfather's funeral, so I was the most foreign object in that parking lot, so I couldn't go interact with people.
Oh yeah.
So I just had to go, and that kind of sucked because I wanted to say goodbye to some of my really close friends, but I'm sure I'll see them before I dip. But yeah, so I agree with Josh. Like, being told what are you gonna do is like, or like there's nothing you can do about it, like why change it, that's just how it is. It's like, it's so upsetting, especially with stuff like gun violence. One of the common arguments I hear for the regulation of guns is like, well, criminals are still gonna do criminal acts whether or not you make certain guns illegal or not. Like, they're still gonna get them. It's like, yeah, but like, people are lazy.
Just fucking do something about it.
Yeah, so like, no, like,
Yeah.
look
Go
at
ahead.
gun violence in every other country that has like outlawed assault rifles and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so minimal because
Dude,
it's so much harder. Yes, there are bad people who are gonna do bad things, but that doesn't mean we can't lessen the bad things happening.
It's funny. I just thought about this now. When people say, "What are you gonna do about it? What can you do about it?" Just fucking say, "I don't know. I'm gonna do something," instead of doing nothing like you. Like,
Yeah, like,
people complain about it and then they don't do shit, and it's fucking annoying.
yeah, it
Oh.
sucks. Like, and it sucks too that people have this mentality of like, well, the only thing you can do is wait for the yearly elections and you can vote on it. It's like, no.
Just fucking say something now.
Say something
Yeah.
now. Elections haven't done shit. The reason the cops who killed George Floyd were arrested were because of protests and petitions and incredible pressure from the public.
I honestly hate how long it took.
Oh, it took
For
forever, and
absolute-
I believe one of the cops has already been freed.
Yeah, because of bail. They had the money to pay bail.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding
I
me?
think bail
Yeah.
is a bad system. I think bail can exist for some crimes. Like, I think bail should be able to exist for certain crimes. But the reason why bail does exist, and this is like really fucked up, is because the prison system is slavery. Like, we don't really talk about it, but it's slavery. The reason bail exists is so that poor, typically people of color, can't afford to pay off their like misdemeanor crimes or whatever, like possession of marijuana, which is why that was criminalized. They can't pay that off, so then they are put in place so that they can do work. Because the thing about the 13th Amendment is it outlaws slavery except for punishment for a crime. Our prison system does not pay our prisoners for doing work. It's so fucked up. It's slavery.
It's that only because of the 13th Amendment. I remember Lincoln only made that so it seems somewhat appetizing for the South to come back to the North.
Yeah.
And of course, the thing is always yeah, it's a problem. It's been a problem, and then that was a good solution to reunite the country as a whole.
Hmm.
But it's a bigger problem when it hasn't been changed.
Yeah.
Like this many years later since the 13th Amendment was put into.
And it's a really interesting parallel to the time between the founding of the U.S. and the Civil War, because when they were creating the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, they were like, let's just put a pin in slavery for a little bit. We'll come back to that later.
I'm not gonna lie. Go ahead, go finish what you're saying.
They were like, yeah, let's put a pin in it. We'll come back to it later. We just need everybody unified right now. And the same thing happened with the 13th Amendment and now. Is they were like, let's just get everybody back together and we'll deal with this little gross bit later. We just need everybody together right now. And that's now coming to a head.
You see, like I'm not gonna like what I was about to say earlier is I wasn't as not open-minded. I didn't see as much as what was revealed during June. You know, a lot happened in June.
Oh yeah, no, it was so hard to keep up with.
I never realized how much police get away with the shit that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like it's honestly like I remember one night I kind of laid there. Excuse me, I'm burping in.
Go ahead.
Excuse me.
Burp.
I
down.
never. I'm sorry, I ate right before.
No, okay.
I never realized like how much they get away with stuff. And I remember there's one night where I kind of just sat on my bed and my stomach was just like churning because like so much was happening. And okay, sorry, my mind froze.
I thought I lost connection to you guys and I was like, oh, fuck.
My mind was just like fucking like twisting. My stomach was like just fucking swirling around, because like, you know, of course the blacks need our attention now, but there were a lot of like police brutality videos in general there was a whole thread of them like fucking just murdering people through suffocation or other means.
Mm-hmm.
And then like it wasn't just blacks, there were like a bunch of other stuff, and then it was just like I remember just seeing that and I just felt fucking terrible because like god damn dude, it's like how the fuck are they getting away with this, you know? Fucking ACAB for sure. Because like I saw a video of this man shot in a hotel room. He was fucking begging for his life. He was crying. He was like, please don't shoot me. I'm sorry, trigger warning. Trigger warning. And not in a like curse or anything, but I'm just what I want to describe what happens.
Yeah, so this is gonna be kind of your trigger.
I want to describe what happens.
I think we're gonna
end
up
and
just...
if you can't hear about it, then I'm sorry. But at the same time, I feel like everyone needs to know what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna preface this by saying I think from this point on in the video, we're gonna be actually going into detail about things. So I think this is just kind of like the trigger warning. This is your point where if you're not ready for these kind of uncomfortable conversations and things, it's okay to go. Because now we're gonna get into like the really uncomfortable stuff. So
yeah, so this man comes out of his hotel room, and then like fucking the whole SWAT team is up there and they're all pointing guns at him and they're saying, you know, like they're shouting orders like get on your knees and keep your hands up, right? And I did more research on it, and apparently like he was drunk. Yeah, he was drunk. He was drunk with a roommate, or not a roommate, but like some like a business partner.
Mhm.
And he was traveling on a business trip and he's just having fun. And then apparently like he waved a gun near his window and someone saw it, called the cops. And then so like they sent the whole like fucking SWAT team up there. And they're all like they're fucking pointing at him with like AR, like full like automatic rifles and all this other shit. And then like he's like crying for his, like he's like please don't shoot me. And then like they're like yelling at him like it's fucking like you know you're not in the video, but I fucking felt scared myself, dude. It's like
yeah, it's really unsettling.
It's extremely unsettling. The intensity of that moment is felt like it really is felt beyond the video. And like he's drunk. He's not thinking straight, of course. But you know, he recognizes the point that he's in danger, and you could tell he's fucking crying, and he's begging for them to not shoot him. And then the officer says, you know, like if you the moment your hands go down one more time, we are going to shoot you. And imagine hearing those words drunk, you know, and having that fucking echo in your skull a while, and then fucking, you know, not thinking straight, not thinking about what you're doing. And then so they said get on the ground and crawl to them, right? So he gets on the ground, but when he gets on the ground to crawl, you need to fucking put your arms down to crawl.
Yeah.
So he put his arms down, started crawling, and then he went to go pull up his pants because like they're like he was just dragging like his shit, and they fucking shot him. And then like fucking hearing his body, like you could fucking hear his body thud on the ground, and then just fucking like just no remorse at all coming from like from the police that did that. And yeah, that video fucking like it sent me to a really dark place in my mind, and it really opened my eyes to really like see that the justice system that we put in place. Not honestly, we didn't even put this in place. We were raised as we put this in place.
Yeah, I don't
'cause of
remember
course we
signing the
didn't
Constitution. Do you?
Yeah.
do this. The justice system that was put in place to keep us safe is putting us at danger. They're putting us at risk, and they're putting us in fear, right? And it's not right. It's not what it's literally not. It's doing the opposite of what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not black. I'm Asian American, and
I'm
you know,
white.
Yeah.
Like, I am the furthest from being in danger, and I'm still very upset.
and you know, and Luke, what are you?
I'm Hispanic.
Hispanic,
And
you
Italian.
see?
A
You see,
Italiano
dude,
primo.
Not a lot that we have to go through. I mean, sure, I've been called a couple things because of the pandemic recently, but it's fine. The thing is always, well, that's not fine. But what I'm
Yeah, I
trying
was
to
about
say
to
is
say.
Yeah.
not fine.
No.
What I'm trying to say is, I never feared for my life at a crosswalk. I never feared for my life fucking going to the
Yeah.
grocery store to grab a snack and like going back to my house when I was younger. I never feared any of that because I'm not black.
Yeah.
You know, black people have to deal with that on a day-to-day basis. And the fact that cops are killing people and fucking like they're doing all this shit and getting away with it, like a fucking slap on the wrist.
Mhm.
It's so fucking
If that.
irritating to figure it, like to find that out as you're getting older.
Mhm.
It's you know, you're like going back to the norms of what we're raised to know. They're
Hello?
the good guys. They're supposed to be, you know, helping us and all this other stuff. You know how fucking like irritating and depressing it is to find out that these guys are actually the bad guys here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Or sorry, I cut out, huh?
yeah, just for a little bit, but it's like
Did I
it's
cut
so
out?
hard. Just for like a second. It's really rough because when you hear for the first time the phrase "the police are tools of the oligarchy," that sounds crazy to you, because you're like, no,
Am I
we're
back?
yeah, you're back now.
Yeah, I was getting into it too.
Yeah. But yeah, when you hear like the police are the tools of the oligarchy, that's like a really weird sentence because you're like, we're not an oligarchy, we're a democracy. You know, like you don't ever really think about it. And to explain oligarchy real quick, since I'm sure most of you know what a democracy is, oligarchy is where the wealthy hold all the power. And yeah, that's where we're at in this country.
I
Which-
think okay. I think that they're listening and they cut me off on purpose. I'll get
Yeah.
And so it's really rough because that sounds very radical until you like start paying attention, and then you're like, oh, that's just real. And so I know a lot of people who are kind of on the fence when we say things like defund the police, because that's a scary sentence. Like out of context, like when you're just not really thinking about it, you're like, defund the police, who's gonna keep us safe? You know?
Like I was saying before it's cut off, it's so irritating, it's so depressing when you find out that the heroes that you were raised to love are actually the bad guys. It's the fucking biggest plot twist in the world.
Yeah, it's really hard. And so that's like part of the thing about coming to terms with defunding the police is you have to look and be like, these guys aren't keeping us safe anymore. You know?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
They aren't. So when we say defund the police, we don't just mean take all the money away and then just like poof, the police are gone, anarchy time.
Poof.
Yeah, no.
Honestly, but you could be as simple as that. Fucking hit the fucking reset button, you know?
God, I wish. But no, what we're talking about doing is more like dispersal of police funds. First of all, NYPD has a $5.9 billion budget. The thing about $1 billion is like $1 million is so hard for us to comprehend, right? Like it's for those of us in the call at the very least, like none of us have ever been like remotely close to being millionaires. So for us to comprehend $1 million is like really, really hard. Now try to comprehend $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane levels of wealth. And now trying to comprehend $1 billion, that is money that no human being should have, in my opinion. I don't think anybody needs billions of dollars. Especially not trillions. We'll get to you, Bezos.
I was about to pick him up.
But, so even just taking 1% of the NYPD's budget, $5.9 million, could almost eliminate homelessness in New York City. That is insane.
That's huge, dude.
Like,
Yeah.
New York, LA, all those, like, huge cities with huge homeless populations could just be absolutely fixed by 1% of a police budget in each city. It's crazy. And it's not even just, like, redistributing to things that already exist, like education, which we definitely need money in education. It's basically taking the police and decentralizing them. The thing about the police that makes them so difficult and volatile is they're trained to take care of every single situation. But they're not really trained for that. They're trained to be a jack of all trades, master of none, so they can't really be effective in each situation. Which is why what Defund the Police is really about is about taking the police and creating a social worker network to then take care of domestic abuse issues and stuff like that. And it's about basically just decentralizing the police, breaking it down into different categories, and then redistributing all the money given to them to the places that need it more. Because honestly, it's really upsetting that the police have access to full riot gear, and we couldn't afford to handle Corona.
What do you call it? I saw a video recently about the guy interviewing a cop.
Mm-hmm.
Then he pointed at the taser and the gun and a bunch of, like, you know, stuff that a cop has, right? The cop, you know, the arm stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the interviewer asks, "Do you think you need that to, you know, to proceed with your job?" And then the cop goes, "Oh, of course." And then he goes, "Why do you need all that?" And then the cop goes, "I need all this because, you know, it's a very dangerous profession. You know, very risky for me to go out there unarmed."
Hang on, Josh. You're going robo mode on us.
Fuck, dude.
Robo Josh.
Oh,
He's ascending.
I am ascending. I am going to explode. They're coming after me now because I am talking too much.
You better join and rejoin. It'll reset your IP address.
They get me yet?
What?
They get me yet?
Dude, you've gone full robo mode.
He sounds fine with me, dude.
Are you?
Does
Yeah?
he really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
But they know you're recording.
Oh, that's what it is.
They
You're
know
the
you're
recording.
recording. So they said this man is preaching, but who is he preaching to? And they fucking like searched up all of us. Like, oh shit, Carusi JPEG is recording. Better cut him off instead of John Melody smiley face.
Shit. But yeah, cops don't need all the shit they have.
We really don't.
They really don't.
Let me finish. Sorry.
Here, I'm gonna kick you so you can rejoin because this is starting to get me, bro.
It's so bad. I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah, no, I can hear Luke just fine, but yeah, no, you sound great. He's in the wrong voice chat. There he is.
Yeah?
Yeah, there you are.
Okay. So that interviewer says, oh, okay, so you don't need all that stuff because the police force in Canada actually do the job only with pepper spray.
Yeah.
You know fucking how many less shootings there would be? Like how many less fucking how much less brutality there would be if they only
Especially the fact that they get like 3 people on like one dude. Like
Yeah.
5, or like 5 cops on like one dude. It's not necessary.
It's really not. It's so excessive. It is literally cruel and unusual punishment made legal.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's
there's
just-
so many cases of suffocation, and the fact that George Floyd is the one that really brought it up there,
Mhm.
it's crazy to me to think about. There's a lot of videos resurfacing of people getting suffocated by the police. Yeah, because like Luke said, fucking 3 people on one dude. It's
It's not
It's
fair, especially if they
unnecessary.
have all that weaponry and all that.
and especially when people most of the time aren't even resisting.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's really hard because trust me, I do understand it can be very dangerous to be a police officer when you're dealing with a really dangerous situation. But there is almost no need to resort to just that much
Violence,
power.
that much violence and that much like shit, dude. It's-
Yeah. The thing so I'm going to bring up kind of an analogy. I want to talk to you all about when I did sword play as a kid. When I was in a karate course, we did kind of like a thing about sword fighting. And, you know, we talked about it and they were like, yeah, so if you get your pinky cut off, you'd be out of the fight. And I was like, that's stupid. No, you can keep fighting without a pinky. And the guy sat me down and he said, well, think about it like this. Yes, while you could technically keep fighting without a pinky, you're going to be in so much pain from having your pinky cut off, you're not going to be able to react.
I'm fucking dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, movies really make it hard for kids to comprehend that, like, just
Fucking
getting...
pain is, dude.
Yeah,
You
like...
get my arm blown off and I can still freaking fight.
Yeah, no, so that's why the police in Canada are able to deal with it so easily, is like pepper spray is so effective.
Mhm.
It hurts like a bitch. Like if I've got a gun and I get pepper sprayed, I'm dropping that bitch so I can try and claw that bitch out of my eyes. Like, it's so
Pepper spray
crazy.
does hurt like a dude.
It hurts, man, and there's no real reason. I would even say that, like, I think it's acceptable to have a taser. I think that's fair, because a taser...
Yeah, I think it doesn't harm
Taser, yeah,
that much
Yeah,
as a gun would. You know, it's not.
it's not gonna kill somebody. I mean, it might kill someone with a heart condition, and that's like a whole
Yeah.
separate thing. But it's still, it's like tasers are fine because you can't just go pop, pop, pop.
Dude, I honestly like it's just so annoying.
It's really
Yeah.
annoying.
It's just really annoying. Like fucking.
And
Bro,
Why
it's
can't
time
you
for the
be
police
nice?
to learn to L cancel their shot fires. Okay? If you L cancel every time you pull the trigger, you will not hit any arteries or anything, and they'll be fine. Like,
yeah,
Dude, imagine okay.
imagine a police
I
officer
know.
wave dashing down the street.
Either that or fucking like fucking telling like another police officer that got shot in like a gunfight, which is where you need guns, and I do recognize that.
Yeah.
But imagine that just like he fucking like dies and telling his family, well, you should have teched that.
Just DI, bro.
I know, just SDI out of it, the SDI out of the bullet wound.
Yeah, dude.
Gee.
Fucking bitch. What, you got double shine cancel? Lazy ass.
just wiggle off a combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wiggle it out, bro. Just shake that.
Bro, you got wobbled? What's wrong with you?
Well, you get wobbled guns are bad. Oh, shit. You mean that tase? Never mind.
Yeah.
You see, getting wobbled is worse.
Getting wobbled, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what cops do, because they kind of like keep you down and start hitting you. And
Yeah.
Oh,
And then as
shit,
soon as,
there he
as, soon as,
goes.
as soon as one gets off, the other one grabs you. Yeah,
And you're
dude.
just stuck.
And you just stuck.
Yeah, you're
It's
like,
not
oh,
fair.
damn. Yeah, no. Luke unironically hit it like right on the head. I didn't think we were gonna be able to pull that back. I was like, how am I
gonna go from this dumbass conversation back to our serious ACAB conversation, and Luke's just like, well, you know what? The police wobble people.
Yeah, that's why they're so hated now, bro. They're bastards for
Hear me
wobbling.
out, fellas. Hear me out. What if we make a T-shirt that just says "The police are ices, they wobble, folks," or some shit like that? We make police
Okay, but I don't think we
ices.
should say they're ices because some ices are actually badass when they decent people.
Oh, dead ass. Okay,
Yeah.
police,
Yeah, it's like-
police wobble people, and we
Yeah,
start selling
it's just that police and then like a big space and wobble period, and people will get that reference to be honest, but
Mhm,
it'll
that's
be
okay.
something that like it's okay because you know wobbling's stupid. So
Yeah, so there you go. Buy our shirts now.
yeah, Sasuke doesn't say racial slurs.
Oh, what a good shirt. I wish it was still up. But yeah, so the police are bad, and so is rape.
I feel like in the future, a lot of people are being thrown up in a cop, and which would only lead the white supremacist conservative people left, which would
The
be
forest.
even more. Yeah, they're gonna be the only
Yeah.
ones left
Oh,
because everyone's gonna be thrown off up in a cop.
yeah, no, straight up. And speaking of white supremacists, let's talk about the fact that Donald Trump declared an ideology a terrorist organization, and the KKK still has not been labeled as one.
Can you also talk about like this is
By the way, I'm
slightly-
referring to Trump calling Antifa, which is the
Yeah,
ideology
yeah.
of being against fascism, which is what Hitler used, called that terrorism.
Can you also talk about Anonymous coming back?
Yeah, that was hype.
That shit, like fucking, that shit got me excited. Like, it was a Smash. I thought that motherfucker was about to start playing like in Smash, dude.
Deadass.
Anonymous hacks into Smash, dude.
Deadass.
Don't
I'm
lie.
moving you back. I'm moving you back. You're going robo mode. But he's just alone in there.
Talking to
Yeah,
robot.
dude. Anonymous. I as soon as I start talking about Anonymous, I went robo mode.
They know, bro.
Anonymous fucking Final Smash exposes the government.
Deadass. Unironically, it surprises me so much that it did not get coverage when Donald Trump was outed as a child sex trafficker.
Yeah, because honestly, that's the thing too, is you can't control how people react to things, but you can help guide them to how things actually are.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't form the thoughts that you want them to think, but like I said, you can help guide them to what is believed to be the right path. And of course, the righteous path is still subjective, but
Mhm.
you know, I tell you one thing: it's definitely we're not on the right timeline.
We are not in the right timeline. We
Mm-mm.
gotta hop, skip out of here, fellas.
Yeah, but but what I'm saying is, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right?
Yeah.
So people.
I just
wanna
heard a
wait.
melee sound effect.
That's my water cup.
No.
water
I
cup.
just heard. I don't know if that's gonna come up in the recording, but I heard the melee target smash. Not like the end of target smash, but like
That just
the
sounded like a
actual
wet
sound
shit,
of a
dude.
target. That did sound like that, but like the actual sound of a target getting hit.
Do you
Weird.
guys know who Sylvanas is?
No. Maybe.
He's a African American comedian on YouTube. He does it's on anime and like Smash Bros. And then so like he made a skit 3 weeks ago called "When You Call the Police on the Police."
Yeah, the police.
Yeah, the police. And that video, I watched it with Luke.
Oh hell
Because
yeah.
I was trying to test audio for something. And then remember Luke at the very end where he was like, "Hold up, I can't breathe," and no one's on him. But then it turns out he was hallucinating the whole thing, and like
Yeah.
that shit got really dark. And
Yeah,
then I'm
I
like,
did.
Damn.
dude, it's like I don't know why I'm talking about it, but like that shit got me thinking too.
Yeah, no, like it can be real fucking like things are just
You know-
rough right now.
You know it's bad when the K-pop stans unite with us.
Straight up, unironically. I got so worried when I saw shit like white power trending on Twitter. I was like, how? And then it's just K-pop. I was like, oh, all right, cool.
That made me laugh. Or Blue Lives Matter.
Yeah, and
I'm like-
they took over that.
they took that over. That shit it makes me so happy to see.
Which
that.
I feel like we should explain to some of our audiences, like why Blue Lives Matter is bad and why Black Lives Matter.
I mean, I
and
think
all lives
it's
matter.
I think it's kind of straightforward.
It should
you know,
be,
blue,
but just
yeah.
in case. So the thing about why we say Black Lives Matter and not All Lives Matter is because while yes, all lives matter, they can't all matter until Black lives do.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
we start.
I like the
the
analogy someone said. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, go ahead. I think I know
Um,
the analogy you're gonna use, and that was where I was going.
It's like tending to a lot of like your kids and then pretty much like saying, of course, all your kids matter, but when one's hurt and when one falls and gets hurt, which one are you gonna tend to them? Which one are you going to bring most of your attention to?
Yeah.
Which one are you going to tend to the most, and which one are you going to help out the most? Of course, you still love your other kids, but at the same time, this kid in particular needs the most attention and help that it can get. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that all lives won't matter until Black Lives Matter, but of course, all lives matter. That's not what needs to be said right now. That's not who needs help. Everyone does. Not everyone needs help. That's like one kid asking for a band-aid when one kid falls because one kid got a band-aid and the other one didn't. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's giving proper attention to the right place. You know.
Yeah. And
That's
so.
analogy. What analogy do you have in mind?
The one I was thinking about was the house fire analogy, where let's say your neighbor's house is on fire, right? And so they call the fire department, and you see the fire department putting out a fire at your neighbor's house, and you walk over and you say, hey, what's wrong with you? All of our houses matter. Why aren't you putting out the fires at our house?
Yo,
There isn't a fire. We got to take care of this fire. And so also saying things like Blue Lives Matter, blue lives don't exist because you can choose to be a cop.
Yeah.
The Blue Man Group would like to disagree.
It's like, yeah,
Yeah. Blue people don't exist.
Earthbound.
Yeah.
The blue.
Holy shit! That
Yeah.
took me a minute. Yeah.
Wait, aren't they wearing like police officers?
No,
they're like the KKK, just with
They're
blue.
the
That's
KKK.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
They're the blue KKK.
Blue. Yeah.
The bu.
Painted town blue. Terry Winkle.
Fuck, man. But yeah, so anyways, dark things aside, guess who came in Smash Brothers the other day?
Min.
Min.
Oh my god.
She's so
Thank
weird.
God it's not. Thank God it's not anyone else.
I've
Yeah.
said this on stream before. I have no emotional attachment to ARMS whatsoever. I played the demo. I don't even own the game, right?
Yeah, same.
But I did, and I actually haven't done this with any other Smash character, but I did cry when it came to her reveal trailer. Like,
Really?
I did hear up. Yeah, and that was more for the fact that I started thinking about Etika, and I said because
Yeah.
Min was Etika's favorite ARMS character, right? And
Yeah.
of course, Min is a lot of people's favorites. Of course, Min won the popularity contest, right?
Mhm.
But in mind in particular was Etika and how he would have reacted. I'm pretty sure he's popping off wherever he is now. But no, but yeah, I didn't even think about it. I just kind of started like tearing up, and then I was like, why am I crying? I don't even play ARMS. And then I thought about Etika, and then tears stopped, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, that was tough.
Yeah,
but
it's been like 1 year. Like
It's-
I think was
it has been a year. It
It's-
was
yeah.
literally Min came out 3 days after Etika's 1 year
I know,
anniversary
it's-
of passing.
Mhm.
And then that shit, yeah, that's why it got me. That's why it got me tearing up.
I really want to
Because-
see the graffiti, or not. It's not graffiti, but it's the
The
art
memo-
piece.
yeah.
The memorial art. Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't always see that in New York City.
Yeah, I
dude,
feel
that
like I would go
sounds
visit
fun.
New York just really to see that. And I
Pay
guess to go
respect and
visit my
everything.
friend who's going to NYU, but whatever. I'm there to go see.
No, I want
Etika.
to see Etika, and
it's
then
like, I know, yeah, just pay
Fuck you,
respect,
Jordan.
you know.
Yeah. Fuck
Pay
you, Jordan.
respect.
I want to go see Etika.
And Nintendo Store.
And the Nintendo.
I want to see Etika, and then the Nintendo Store.
Yeah.
Mom, after the Etika monument, can we go to the Nintendo store? I want to buy a Mario.
I want to see like a national park. No. Nintendo Store.
I just want to go.
Oh, Luke, have you? Oh wait, no, you don't play with us anymore. Never mind.
D&D?
Yeah, I was about to say, did you see the map I finished?
No.
This is this kind of like extremely off topic, but I finished the world map, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's not the world map. It's just the area surrounding the area that everyone's in right now. And there's actually a city above Starheart, and it's called Destiny, which is kind of a little homage to Etika.
Yeah.
And there's even like a farm, like a patch of farm that's actually it's a mirrored version of his logo.
Oh, really?
That's sick.
Yeah, in the D&D world that we're creating.
That's big sick.
Yeah, so I'm really happy about that. It's on topic because of Etika, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It's been a year, and I still feel the need to create content.
There's I've said this so many times. There's not a day that goes by and I don't think about him.
Yeah.
He was
I
really
was like
invested.
always playing like something Nintendo related or something.
Yeah,
It's like
it's hard
Nintendo's
not
in
to
our
think about
lives,
him.
therefore Etika should it's
Yeah. and-
Therefore, Etika lived in our
There you go,
hearts.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I mean, that just goes to show, like, I mean, anytime there's any kind of event ever, I just, like, any live event, I'm like, can't wait to see Etika's reaction, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I know. Miss that shit, dude.
Yeah, I miss that man, but you already know, bro. That man's popping off wherever he.
Freaking sand. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, that wasn't even you already know he was popping off, but I like that one edit someone made.
Yes, so
when-
like sand.
Because he reacted to Sans
Yeah.
being in fuck, I almost said Undertale.
Undertale on Switch.
Yeah. No. He reacted to RuneScape. And he was playing
RuneScape.
RuneScape.
I
And
mean
then
Deltarune.
Oh yeah, fuck, dude.
RuneScape, dude.
RuneScape. No, Deltarune.
Oh, my man's over here on that RuneScape shit.
I'm tired, not gonna lie. All I've been doing is sleeping because like I've been thinking of it too much. But yeah, no, he was reacting to Deltarune. He was playing Deltarune, and he saw Sans' house. He was like, Sans,
Sans?
and then someone
Yeah.
added that to the fucking Sans me costume reveal, and that shit made me crack up.
Yeah, it's...
I feel like Etika should have some sort of influence on one of the characters in the roster. Like, I don't know. I guess Min was that.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
like.
do
I'm
like
not
to believe
saying
with Min.
Min
that was
grew
directly his.
popularity. I think
Yeah,
because
that's what I was
Etika.
gonna say too. But like, if like Etika doesn't get like oh shit! If anything, if they add any Xeno 2 reps, which I am like on the fence about, because honestly, I'd love to see a Xeno 2 rep. It's just the game I wouldn't like to talk about with you.
The
I don't want
game
to talk
and
about the
I
game.
have... The game and I have beef. I love the game, but the game and I have beef.
Yeah, but if they do put like Rex, Pyra, and Ether in there, like as like like you can switch out, since you're allowed to switch stuff out because they did it with Min Min's arms. If they did that, then that in my mind would pay homage to Etika, only because and I like a large part of like at least myself remembers Etika's Xeno 2 streams, especially
Yeah.
when he pulled Dahlia. When he got, I don't think he got to talk to Sky Bennett, but I do remember there's a voice clip of her saying, "Etika loves Minecraft."
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
good.
And then if anything, I feel like that would be a good rep for Etika's pick.
I think...
Either that or Min Surf's fine in my head.
Yeah, I think we have a chance to get a Xeno 2 rep, because Min Min has proven that, like, being a spirit doesn't disqualify you.
Oh, dude, just because of that alone, so many people could come through.
Gino!
That's where my mind goes first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shantae.
Shantae, Gino.
Shantae.
Shantae being an
Rex,
indie rep,
Pyra,
that's
Mithra.
God, dude.
Could
Yeah,
you
Rex
imagine?
Pyra-
Could you imagine a timeline where Rex's down taunt is Mithra and she comes out and says Etika likes Minecraft?
Dude, that actually low-key, as soon as you said that, fucking I got goosebumps because of that. Because like
Yeah,
it just played
like-
through in my head.
That would
That'd be
be
funny as
so
hell.
sick. Cause yeah,
Or
he was
like,
like
she
really
just makes a
influential.
joke. She says like, "Who loves Minecraft?" Or like
Yeah,
Etika,
yeah.
like if they don't want to reference Minecraft, they'd be like, "Etika loves something," you know? Like that'd be funny as hell.
Yeah, like even if they were trying to be like subtle about it, because you know,
Yeah.
like obviously it's a kids game. You can't go sending kids
And
to Etika.
you already know that like Sakurai knows who he is.
Oh,
Doesn't know who he is,
100%.
yeah.
There is no way Sakurai did not know that. Etika.
No, I think there's like I remember Etika reacting to something. It's like, "Daddy Sakurai knows who I am."
Yeah, it was Mewtwo.
Yeah.
He retweeted it or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Or Sakurai retweeted it.
Etika was like, "Daddy Sakurai knows who I am." And he kept saying it over and over again.
What a,
Yeah, oh
what a
my God, this
powerful
brings me
voice
back.
line. What
Or
a
if
powerful
anything,
reaction.
they could like talk about like they could like refer him to Iceman or something.
That would,
Or,
yeah,
like,
that would be really,
make a
really
chill
sick.
pun within that character, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or they just
man.
dead ass put Etika in the game.
I'd definitely like live or make the spirit like his movie.
For Etika's up special, he screams
Oh
the
my
N word down so powerful that he flies up.
I remember when oh my god, Etika never finished Awakening.
No, he didn't.
I remember when he started playing Awakening, and then you make Robin. That's your unit. So he made Robin birthday his birthday,
Mhm.
and I remember he forgot about it. So Robin's birthday came up on his birthday, and he was like, "Yo, what? What? Robin has the same birthday." He was popping off, and people in chat were trying to tell him. There's so many Etika moments I could think about.
Yeah, I love watching through Etika moments. I really like watching through the torture dance.
Escorts?
Escorts,
Fuck is
yeah.
Escorts? Or him dancing in front of Sony
Yeah.
Golden
Oh, when he got the money for the
Yeah.
PlayStation Vita.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
he was such a stand-up guy, and shouts out to him, man.
It's gonna be hard to forget him. I'll tell you that
Definitely.
much. He's a legend. He's a legend in our hearts.
He is
Yeah.
a big boy legend. Love that man.
I think that's. How long are we running?
We have been running for 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 26 seconds.
You think that's a good?
I think
Part to cut off on?
that's probably a good part to cut off. I'm probably going to edit this later tonight, and
Yeah, so you don't hear us talking about cutting it off.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Let's have like a proper send off then.
I agree. Yeah, we should probably say something good. I've been playing Fire Emblem Three Houses a lot recently, so I'm gonna go finish doing that.
I'm
Everybody,
changing up my stream schedule. I'm now on Twitch. Check me out.
Yes.
And Luke.
Luke is-
Luke pops by on my stream. We play Mario Maker.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's sick.
Maker a lot.
They my boys. Josh is.
Guys.
What's going on, guys? Go subscribe to my boy John Melody. He's a homie. I love him.
Yeah.
Go
Oh,
subscribe to
shit,
Luke
hold up.
in real
We
life.
also. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
We also just hit 100 followers on Twitch after
Oh, yeah.
like about 3 weeks of streaming.
Which is pretty big pog. So you should probably go follow him on Twitch as well.
What I'm about to say is, I'm running a follower/viewer tournament for Smash, and I've come to decide that there's going to be a cash prize for whoever gets first. Because of that, though, I'm still hashing out rules. I'm gonna be talking to my moderators about it, but
Oh, that's me.
if there's a cash prize, there might be the possibility of moderators not being able to compete, but we'll talk it out more.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that because Sick Nasty is one of my moderators and he loves Smash. So.
I smash.
I don't respect.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. Hop on by if you're down. I feel like I talked a lot this podcast.
Yeah. No, that's good though.
I'm sorry.
No. It's good. Like I like it when y'all talk more than I do. It's good shit. Y'all are as much part of the podcast as I am. Yeah. So please go sub to John Melody. Go support him on Twitch. You can subscribe to him on Twitch. That would make his day.
Oh, dude, hell yeah!
Subscribe to Luke in real life. Follow him around.
Yeah, guys.
His address is 123 Luke House.
It
And
is.
I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. I have to get into the habit of asking you all to subscribe to me now because I feel dirty when I do it, but I guess I'm supposed to.
Okay,
Because
I'll do it. Hey guys, you guys
no,
should
no, no,
subscribe
no,
to
no,
every.
it's okay. It's okay. I gotta be the one to do it. We are actually really close to hitting 100 subs. We are at 95, and it would mean the world to me if I could get to 100 subs soon. Because I feel like that's kind of the make it or break it part for a lot of people, is if they get stuck under or around 100 subs, you know. I feel like if I can get to 100 subs, I'll be able to keep doing this with that same level of passion and realizing that this is like something I can do that people like and want to see.
Fuck yeah!
Big hog. Okay, remember to drink your water. It's summertime. It's hot. I'm sweating right now. I'm kind of stinky.
Even though it's nice inside, go exercise.
Exactly. Go exercise. Eat
Exercise.
healthy. Don't get the Rona. And have yourselves a damn good one.